my name is Kelsey Ewing, and this is my partner, Megan Tamiyasu. Our ECE 150 term project is on credential dumping and data extrusion. We're going to be using a Windows 2016 ISO because it has a known vulnerability that allows remote code to execute on a host server without requiring authentication or user interaction. The Mimikatz software is used to extract credentials stored in computer memory. The active attack is going to steal sensitive data from the user's private account using the FileZilla software. FileZilla allows for FTP connection, and it even lets you have unknown IP addresses connect without authenticating with a password. The motivation of the project is to understand how to implement a passive and active cyber attack for data and credential espionage via an insider threat. This would include credential dumping for access to the system and data extrusion to extract sensitive data from the system.
Before we move on to the actual integration, we need to cover the background, which will cover these definitions. First off is passive attacks, monitoring transmissions for the purpose of obtaining the transmitted information, active attacks, modification of a data stream or creation of a false data stream, credential dumping, which is a passive attack that steals a user's system credentials so a hacker can use them to gain access to the system, and data extrusion, taking data from a computer and transferring it to a different location in an unauthorized action. Okay, now on to implementation. So for this demonstration, we are going to take 24 fake files as seen on the right side of the screen here, which will be used for data extraction. These 24 files will consist of PDFs, docx files, JPEGs, TXTs, and XLSX files. These are all files that are not real and do not hold any information that's important. Windows Server 2016 was installed on a local user computer with a VM along with a victim user account, dummy files, FileZilla, and Mimikatz.
Okay, so now we're going to demonstrate how to use Mimikatz to do a credential dump. So first let's start with Mimikatz. And this is what it comes out to. It gives you a little command prompt. And then for the sake of time, I have these here for copy and paste. So this first command confirms that you have it gives you the privileges to be able to debug. But it will give you an error if you're not in an admin mode. This next one is just going to take all of our output and put it into a log file of the name that I gave it. And then this command is the actual dump. So now it has all of these users and it gives you the hashes. So So now that we have the file, and here it is, you can see here's an admin account that's on this user, and there's multiple accounts, but they gave the hashes right here. So now what we need to do is go and decode those. And one way to do that is to go to a site like this one. And let's do the NTLM one. And there you go. So it cracked the hash. It gives you a type, and there's the password. It is capital A admin at 123.
Okay, now what can we make from this? So we need to focus on the defense structure, which is of the attack using Mimikatz show that Mimikatz relies on administrative privileges for most of his commands. So to fix that, we should basically plan on configuring the Windows Server settings to not store passwords in memory and firewall configurations. Secondly, through familiarizing ourselves with FileZilla, we learned that its default settings are insecure and need to be modified in order to protect the system. To prevent the use of file transfers via FileZilla, Server connections with unknown IP addresses will be disabled within the firewall settings. And this is the division of labor for our project as shown here.